Hello, everyone. My name is Erin Lurch. I'm part of the MindWise Innovations team, and I'm just going to do a quick run through of our new screening reporting platform to help you locate the data that you may be looking for. So you're going to go to report.healthfleet.com and enter in your login information. You should have that from an email from our team. If you're not sure what it is, feel free to reach out to us at info@mindwise.org. Or if you need assistance with resetting a password, you can also email us. When you first log in, you're going to see a page that looks a lot like this. And the first thing that you're going to want to do is click on Overview. And that's going to take you to a screen that looks something like this. So you'll see on this screen, you should see your client name here. If you do have multiple sites, there are a couple of folks who do, you'll be able to choose from those sites and filter by site or by a couple of sites. But most of you watching this are just going to have one option there. You have your date filters here. You have your survey filters and your language filters. And then you're going to see this graph that shows you overall number of screens per day over time. And then down here at the bottom, you have your survey list and your survey results. So let's go through this page and kind of walk through everything that you have here. You can see your trend line here. Your survey list is just going to show you the total of each screen that's been completed for the date range that you've set. And then here it breaks it down a little bit further into the different possible results. So you can get a quick look at how many folks who've completed, let's say, a depression screen are testing not consistent, consistent, or highly consistent. You can see how many folks have tested at risk for gambling or not at risk. You can see all that information kind of at a glance right here. This is also the page where you're going to set any filters that you want to use going forward. So there are a couple of other views that we'll look at in a minute, but the only place that you can set these filters is on this screen. So if you want to set any filters, like filtering down to a particular month, or filtering to a particular survey or anything like that, you're going to need to do that here before you switch tabs. So the filters that are available to you are the date filters. You can do a couple of different things here. You can either click and drag, which can be a little bit tricky to kind of pinpoint the date that you're looking for, especially if you've been a client for a while. But that is one option to do it. And when you change those filters, it is going to automatically update, as you can see. And it may take it a minute to think through everything. So just be patient. And then you can see that it's updated everything. So it cut off the part of the graph that we aren't looking at anymore. And it will have adjusted these two tables as well to exclude that data. So that's one way to change it. Or let's say that we want to jump to just looking at 2024 data. We can click on this date and go ahead through this little calendar and pick the date that we want to set. And again, it's going to automatically update based on that new filter. And now you can see we're just looking at 2024 data. You can do the same thing with this end as well. So if I wanted to back it up to just January, I could do that there. Other places where you can filter down is you can go in here and filter by a specific survey. So let's say that we wanted to just look at depression. You could unclick all and then click on just the depression screen. Now we can see that we're just getting data for the depression screen. So I'm going to go back to getting all of the data. And then you can do the same thing here by language. If you want to filter down by language, you can look at just your English or just your Spanish results. Spanish and Spanish United States are the same thing in our system. I'm not entirely sure why there are two separate options there. So if you're looking for your Spanish options, just check both of those. A couple of other buttons to keep in mind before we switch to another tab. You can look up here on this toolbar. Some of these are not going to be super relevant for us, like accelerate. You're probably not going to use replay animation, those sorts of things. The buttons I really want to draw your attention to are right here, these two little cylinders. So every time I changed a filter, it automatically updated the data. Let's say that you want to mess around with the filters a little bit more in depth all at once, and you don't want to have to wait for it to update each time. You can click on this and pause your auto updates. And then you can start just clicking and dragging this around and it's not going to update the viz until you ask it to. So you can see it's not updating my data anymore. It's just gone gray to let me know that that's not the correct data anymore. So we're going to put it back. And then when you're ready, you can hit resume auto updates, and then it will refresh itself and go with whatever data filter that you have chosen. Similarly, this one here, if you have paused your auto updates, or if it's sometimes Tableau can be a little bit ornery. Tableau is the system that runs this reporting. So if it's gotten confused or gotten stuck and it doesn't seem to be updating properly, you can click on this refresh button to just get it to refresh and check your filters again. The other button I want to draw your attention to is this one right here, where you can download your data. You can download it as an image if you just want to get kind of an overview, a PDF, a PowerPoint, and then a crosstab is your Excel option. So you can click on that. It's going to ask you if you want survey list or survey result, and then you can download it. So that's the overview screen. We'll just do a quick look at these other two. Clients is not a tab that you folks will have. That's just a tab on our kind of global admin side. So you can go to screening questions. And this is where it gets really into the nitty gritty of each and every question that is included in our screenings. So it's going to take it a minute to load. So you can see here, it breaks it down by screening, and you can see the percentage results for every single question that is included in that screening. So let's say that you wanted to get an idea. One question that a lot of folks want to look at is from the depression screen, have you thought about or wanted to end your life or commit suicide? So you can come here and see what those are. So the 0, 1, 2, 3 line up with the text answers here. So except not in this order. So 0 is equivalent to none or little of the time, 1 some of the time, 2 most of the time, and 3 all of the time. You can see every screen is broken down. All right, and then the last tab we're going to look at real quick is demographic summary. And again, it's carrying over the filters that we set on the overview screen. So we're just looking at 2024 data. If we wanted to change that, we would have to go back to the overview screen and adjust those filters and then come back to this tab. Okay, so here we can see our various demographics options. So some of our, we don't use all of these possible demographics, which is why they're appearing blank. It should only show you the demographic questions that you have enabled for your screening site. But you can see here that it breaks down the percentage of each of those. So if you want to get a sense of what your audience looks like, you can do that here. Also, just like on the overview screen, you can download this. Again, your crosstab is going to be your Excel option. One thing to note is that if you do pick crosstab, oh, maybe it's data actually. Hold on. Yes, here. So if you do pick PDF, you may, if you just go with the default options, it's just going to give you kind of a screenshot of what you're currently looking at. If you want to make sure that you're getting the entire sheet of data, you just want to do specific sheets from this dashboard and make sure that demographics is checked. And then it will give you the entire table and not just the part of the table that you happen to be looking at right now. So that is an overview of the Tableau reporting software. If you do have any questions, always feel free to reach out to us at info@mindwise.org. Thanks.